is like a war horse that hardly gets tired. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has shown why he is the real deal in the People's Democratic Party. Atiku has emerged as the presidential candidate of the PDP for the 2023 elections after winning the party's primary election at the MKO Abiola Stadium in Abuja on Saturday. According to the result announced, Atiku polled 371 votes to defeat his closest rival, Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, who scored 237 votes, while a former president of the Senate and two-term governor of Kwara State, Bukola Saraki, came third with 70 votes. Let's share highlights of the party's national convention with you.
That Nigeria is a nation in search of nationhood, is a country in search of nationhood. Today, the process for that search starts with this event. If we elect the right leadership, then the country will be on the march to greatness once again. I call this a moment of determination, a moment that will define where our party goes, where Nigeria goes, a moment where that instantaneous performance that you are going to do will define what this country will be. Whether we'll continue in the moment of gloom or will exert into the moment of boom. Today, that thumb printing is not just a thumb printing. That thumb printing will define the next generation. You cannot give what you don't have. We have leaders who have not managed business successfully, so how can you manage people and resources when you become the president? So you need someone who has the experience, who has the global contact and the exposure.
The permanent solution to our problem is to give the power back to the local government. It is not a coincidence that we have representatives from the 774 local government right here as the delegates. It is the time to take the power back to the local government. If we have a security system that is based on the local government structure, Nigeria will be secured. If we have electricity at the local government level, Nigeria will have lights. And if we have technology where every community has access to internet, we will do well as a nation.
We're here at a moment of decision. A moment that we must choose hope over hopelessness. A moment that we must choose peace and security over fear and terror. A moment that we must choose unity over disunity and exclusion. Distinguished delegates, as we stand here, we ask ourselves, what is our role? We are only 774 delegates, but the destiny of 200 million Nigerians is in your hands.
I have come to a patriotic conclusion to step down my aspiration, and not only that, but I appeal to my supporters to take this in good stride and in the hands of national unity, patriotism, and not only that, those who are delegates here should vote for Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Wazir Adama, PDP.
$36, $37, 237 votes. 70, 71. His Excellency Abubakar Atiku, 371 votes.
Bukola Bukola Saraki, 70. Nyesom Wike, 237. Atiku Abubakar, 371. By the power vested on me as the Chief Returning Officer of the 2022 Presidential Electoral Committee, I, Senator David Alechenu Bonaventure Mark, GCON, hereby return Atiku Abubakar, having scored the highest number of valid votes as the winner of the election. He is hereby returned elected. Congratulations, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar.
We have witnessed another one of the freest elections to be conducted by our great party. Let me also use this opportunity to call on my fellow contestants and to assure them that I am ready to cooperate and work with them and give them a sense of belonging in this party and our next government. It was a well-fought primary elections. So I commend you for that, and I look forward to working with you very closely so that together we can build this party to a level where we can take over the government. I want to appeal to all aggrieved members of our party that they should please return to our party, and we are willing, we are ready, the leadership of the party, our governors, and myself, to make sure that their grievances are resolved within the party. Let us make use of those internal mechanisms to resolve our disputes in our party instead of going to various law courts and getting contradictory rulings and contradictory judgments. It is not going to augur well for the growth of our party.
It is my honor and delight to present this party flag to you as a symbol of our unity, our support, and our commitment to win the next election. Congratulations.
I will say congratulations to former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Babajide has told you. You see, during the time of the campaign, you saw all of that aspirants moving from one state to the other, making consultations. You saw different advertisements being placed in the media. But former Vice President Atiku Abubakar did not do all of those. Looks like he was so confident that he would definitely clinch the ticket, and he did.
It's not true. It's not true. He was traveling. At least I know some of the places that I went to. Dino, for example, is a friend of mine. And I remember that Dino was traveling with him in his private jet. They were moving from place to place. It's not possible to win this kind of election staying in one place. No. Don't also forget that being a serial contestant, he already had structures in different places. All he needed to do was just activate those structures and they will be working for him. But it's not even true that he was not moving around. He moved around.
But he make a hell of a noise like all
No, see, he may not have made so much noise like those who are traveling, going to 3 states in one day and all that. Atiku, from the day he lost the last election, Atiku made clear that he will contest again. So some people were moving around campaigning over just a period of 1 month. This person had been literally campaigning for 4 years because he did not wind up his political machine. Those who just recently announced that they are going to contest, they are the ones who are running from pillar to post, going up and down. Atiku never suspended his campaign. From the day he lost, he made it clear that he will contest again. We all knew that, look, Atiku will be in the race for 2023. That one was public knowledge. So he had been moving around, trying to activate his political machine again, and it's not. I'm not surprised that at the end of the day he won. Although I'm convinced that if Tambo had not given him his support, Wike would have won the election. Wike, more than 70% of the PDP primaries decided before this election were won by Wike's candidates. Senatorial primaries, House of Reps primaries, even in some states. Look, House of Assembly elections. So Wike had done so well building support base, especially in states that the PDP did not have sitting governors. So those North Central states and other places, he was in firm control in a lot of those places. But at the end of the day, what we did not expect would happen happened when Tambuwal decided at the last minute to say, look, I'm pulling out and directing my delegates to support
Vice President.
the Vice President. Let me explain why I said if he had not pulled out, Wike would probably have won. In Sokoto, 26 delegates, because they have 26 local government, 23 in Kebbi, 14 in Zamfara. That's 63 no. Apart from the support that he had in some other states like Katsina, like Kaduna. In fact, he will have dominated majority of the 7 states of the North Central. Because it will come from North Central, so that's this area of strength. Even when he did well the last time, that was the area of strength. He came second to Atiku in the last presidential primaries of the party. So someone so highly rated like that, by pulling out at the last minute, not less than 100 votes, he conceded not less than 100 votes by that action for Atiku. Because by the time you pull the 63 votes from those 3 states alone, and we still have Jigawa, we still have Kaduna, we still have Katsina, which constituted this area of strength.
Being an incumbent governor.
And an incumbent governor, yeah. Those are the areas where he had been working. In Kano, you have 44 local governments. That is an advantage in itself. In Katsina, to more than 30 local governments, an advantage. And they don't have sitting APC governors in those places. So for him being, sitting PDP governors in those places, for him being a sitting PDP governor, those areas were waters in which he could fish from. And at the end of the day, by conceding his delegates to Atiku, he strengthened Atiku's capacity to win. And that's what happened. So it's like placing the interest of the party ahead of friendship. When Fire got some markets in Sokoto, Wike donated 200 million to the people. Wike supported him with everything that he's got. But on this occasion, he felt that Wike would not be the best for the party, and he decided to support someone else.
Well, Mayor, do you think the governor of Sokoto State actually placed the interest of the party above the interest of, what BK said? Or could it be that it's a blood, when it comes to the northern blood, that affinity is what actually played out, that they will always support one of their own as against anybody from another region?
I think Tambuwal is a politician. Tambuwal is a very selfish politician. He's a politician who looks at his own interests at every point in time. And I will explain why. In the last election, the last primaries 4 years ago, Wike was a very powerful person in the party, and Wike was all out supporting him. And he almost got it. In fact, what made Atiku to win 4 years ago was because the military class met and decided that Atiku Abubakar will serve their interests better. So they sent a delegation to Ota to go and meet Obasanjo. And they informed Obasanjo to say, look, we know that you have issues with this man, but this is the man that we think can run this election. This is the man we are supporting. And Obasanjo, as the head boy of the military class, that whatever differences they had with Atiku, he should just forgive him. And Obasanjo agreed. And from Ota, they went to Port Harcourt and changed the dynamics of what happened. Before then, Atiku was running behind Tambuwa. The same Wike, who, like he said, supported you when the fire got on the market there, the same Wike now is on the ballot. And Tambuwa didn't blink twice to say, look, my supporters should go to Atiku, which was the deciding factor. Because, yes, he has sizable amount. In fact, there are a lot of support that was supposed to come for Wike in Kano. Because of his own decision, some of them changed their mind and tried to go another way.
Looking at Wike, before the party primary, someone has actually referred to him. I think Dino Mela, he said, PDP has now become Wike People's Party, saying because of the power Wike is holding in the party. One thing you have to give to
Wike is that he has succeeded in turning himself into a major stakeholder in PDP. You have to give him up. For him to be able to perform this well is commendable, because he's not, most of it, he was able to penetrate a lot of states in the north. You understand? Yeah. So you have to give it to him that he did very well. He did very well. But Tambuwa, for whatever reason, believed that the interest of the party will be better served with Atiku than Wike. Fine.
Right. BKO, well, North is showing superiority when it comes to politics this time around again.
This is not about North and South. Frankly, this is not about North and South. Wike, yes, he's financed the PDP so much. That's where he draws his strength from, nothing else. In terms of his brash nature, his very undiplomatic attitude, if Wike should win this, if he had won this primary election, even with eyes closed, the candidate of PDP will win. And they knew it. Those who understand politics very well,
the candidate of APC
will win. You know? Those who understand politics so well know that, look, there are times when somebody could look like a front runner, but you don't have to let that person win, because it will hurt you badly. In their party, he could win. But to contest for national election, this kind of person, and they knew that they needed something better than that. And they are not fools. They are not fools. At the end of the day, if he won, how do you sell him to the rest of the country? You go to the North, for example, you want the average northern grassroots person or masses to vote for this person, and they can see how he behaves and all that. I mean, for someone who wants to be president of a country, you can't continue to demonstrate on presidential behavior in public. That demarcates you effectively. So, and they knew that with the war chest that he's got, it's not his ability to talk to people, to campaign to people that matters. Of all the people that addressed the people there, his speech was the worst. He had nothing to say. His strength is, yes, there's so much money that can give people and all that. That's why it draws his strength.
Are you not looking at it from this angle?
Did you listen to his speech? No. Did you hear him say what he was going to do? Yeah, his speech was the worst. Yeah, and you keep fighting everybody in the party. You fight this governor, you fight that one. Even the same Atiku, you fought Atiku before the election in Edo. So they needed somebody better than that. Whether we like it or not, Atiku being the candidate of the APC, of the PDP, has made winning the election more difficult for the APC.
What do you mean?
Look at even the result of the last election. Look at the result of the last election. Despite the fact that Buhari was incumbent. PDP gained more states. PDP did well in the election, in the final analysis.
Atiku on the ballot.
Yes. So if you are now at Buhari without his usual 12 million votes, it's not going to be on the ballot. Tell me anyone from northern Nigeria today, that is in the APC,
has a standing
who is stronger than Atiku. Just tell me one person.
Well, looking at
but my own problem is that where is the fairness and justice that we clamor for in politics? We have a president from the north that have done 2 terms, and again PDP that have had majority of their support from the south, from the southeast and south-south. Where is the fairness? Where is the justice for you to now give your ticket again to another Fulani man from the north?
That is a different issue. On the day when we want to talk about zoning, if you bring the argument game, we are talking about what transpired at their presidential.
Yes, I agree. But what I'm saying is that
both the APC that you are talking about.
The APC will also go to the north.
Both the APC. So even if you must criticize people, you should criticize the APC more.
No, we are going to do that. We are not discussing APC.
No, but you are the one talking about zoning. On this day, we are talking about.
I'm talking about justice and fairness that.
Invariably, you are saying that it should have been zoned to the south.
Right. Yes, it should have been.
Even if that was not the word that came from your mouth. This thing is a contest for the best from the party. Everyone was saying, even when we were arguing, I said, if Wike looks like winning, but if he wins, it will be easier.
Any dissenting person knows that Atiku will win. You have said that Atiku will win. Of course, I knew that Atiku will win.
He couldn't have won without this person stepping down.
We'll continue from this.
And I've explained it.
Right, we've got a caller, and that's Ade joining us from London. Ade, thank you so much for joining us on Journalist Hangout on Sunday. Ade, are you there? Ade from London. Well, I'm afraid we're not able to establish connectivity.
Hello, good afternoon.
Right, Ade.
Can you hear me?
Yes, very well. We can hear you. Make your point quickly.
My contribution is this. Please, what we saw now is a sign of unity of the northern people. Are you following me? It's a sign of unity of the northern people, which in the south. Wike have time to abuse Obi when he left PDP. He shouldn't be doing that. He should behave as a statesman. You see, this is a sign of unity of the northern people. You see, I don't blame Tamboa. He has to support. If we in the south can support ourselves without abusing ourselves, we will achieve something. I want Babajide to cross-check. I believe when we went to Sokoto, he donated 500 million, not 200 million.
Yeah, 500.
Because everybody was, the opera then. Why do you donate so much money? Because it is the behaviors of Wike that make Wike lose that election. You should also be a statesman. Abusing everybody is not the best. But that's what I want us to gain there. With the Southerners.
All right. Thank you, Ade from London. Thank you for your point. Yeah, well, Biko, looking at...
If it's simply about the North, why didn't Bala step down? Why didn't Bukola Saraki, who got 70 votes, step down? I mean, with the way we argue sometimes can be ridiculous. An individual got up, stood down for another person. We are now saying it's the North coming together. And it was a Northerner that came third in the contest. Or are we saying that Kwara is not part of the North again? Or Bala from Bauchi is not from the North again? No. An individual took that decision upon himself because Northern leaders had met looking for some form of consensual agreement. But it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Well, at the last minute, if they were as united as the caller was trying to paint it, wouldn't they have decided to step down for one another?
Right.
But Tamboa took it upon himself. that Wike should not be unleashed on the party, though he had resources more than any sitting governor in our country. Well, it doesn't mean that he's the best for the job.
Right.
So sometimes even money can sometimes fail. And that's what we have seen. Just that step, one person stepping down, accounting for a little over 100 votes, tilted the balance. And Atiku won.
All right, Mayor, well, there are so many issues on the ground. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar said that he's going to reunite the party. But do you see him reinventing the party, reuniting the party, solving some of the internal crises in the party before he's not thinking of reuniting the entire country?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Some people may not like what I want to say now. The way APC is going about organizing their own primaries, the intrigues and the kind of things they are doing, and what we are hearing about some forces within the party, what they intend to do within the party. If they go ahead and do that, I see a serious crisis within APC, and the next president may be Atiku Abubakar. Because if APC goes to election against Atiku Abubakar with a divided house, if those within the party who think they are smart and they are doing all this nonsense they are doing, bringing different candidates, you understand? Because if you notice, some forces within the party didn't want the convention to hold. It was pressure that made the convention to hold. Now we're going into primaries. Instead of them to allow people to go to primaries and let party delegates decide who the presidential candidate should be, they've started doing a lot of things, postponing things so that they could force consensus decision on the party. And if that didn't happen, they have another fallback position. Right. They've started this argument now that, instead of North and South, they've gone to regions. And they are saying, Northeast has never produced a president. And they are entitled to produce president. Wow. If they don't handle things right, if they allow crisis to erupt in their party, if they face Atiku Abubakar, the candidate of PDP, with a divided house, Atiku Abubakar will win the election.